Lots of movement on the liquidity list for baseball this week. Can anyone unseat Shohei Ohtani? Let's find out next. JC3 Cards and Collectibles is hard at work every week scouring eBay sales to find the most liquid names in the trading card markets so you don't have to. Who will be number one this week? Hello, and welcome back to JC3 Cards and Collectibles. Charlie here with my buddy Stu. We are here with another look at the most liquid names in baseball trading cards, and lots of movement this week. So it's been 3 weeks since we took a look at the baseball trading market, and a lot has happened in that time. So, still a very active market. I still contend that baseball is king. In the baseball market, we saw 645,513 cards turn on eBay. Raw low end cards going at fixed price or best offer. Um, really, nobody else is able to top what baseball can do year round. So I really enjoy looking at baseball because it's always steady, always something going on in baseball. You've got the hype cycles constantly with prospects coming up and things like that. So what else was going on in the market? Well, 45,208 sellers out there with baseball cards. Over 11.6 million baseball listings out there. It's just a monster. Really, it is. So, what does the market look like over the last 3 weeks? Well, it's up. It is up about 8%. However, nothing to get too excited about because a few weeks ago, the market took a pretty significant drop. In fact, the last time we got together, the baseball market was down about 8%. Or, I'm sorry, excuse me, down about 11%. So this 8% climb is really just regaining what was lost about 3 weeks ago, and we haven't fully gotten back there. But what it did do is it shows most cards are up, and some are up substantially. Some of the biggest gainers in this past week. Oh, there is a Hall of Fame great named Willie Mays. He experienced that PMB, postmortem bump. Safe home, Willie Mays. You were truly an icon in baseball. This caused a huge spike in Willie's card sales. He's up 210% in the last week and actually got into our top 20 for the week. Another player that showed a significant bump, Gunnar Henderson of the Baltimore Orioles, up 123%. Where's that going to have him lie in our countdown? We shall see. Some other players that had a pretty good week. Let's see here. Looking through the list, we had another player experience 196% increase since our last report, and that is Shota Imanaga. So he has continued to have a pretty good rookie season in Major League Baseball, and that is impacting his cards. Now, the flip side, we had some people with some significant losses. Let's start with a gentleman by the name of Josh Gibson. 3 weeks ago, his cards were sky high, flipping every day because of the news that Major League Baseball was going to recognize MLB stats. That was short-lived, however, as he is now down 83%. Another player that had a hot streak and now is falling back to earth, down 75%, is Luis Hill. That is not all that unexpected. He had a hot streak there. He is a pitcher. Pitchers don't tend to maintain that long-term value unless your name is Nolan Ryan. So as expected, we saw a rise and then a fall back down to earth with Luis. Some others that slid a little bit. Some greats like Frank Thomas, Ricky Henderson, they slid down a little bit, but not tremendously. But then by and large, just about everybody's cards were up to some extent. We talked about the big guys up over 100%. But there was plenty of people that were up 40%, 60%, 30%. That was kind of the norm to see everybody in there. So the big question is, did all that movement allow someone to climb the ranks enough to maybe unseat our former number one, Shohei Ohtani? Why don't we take a look at last week's list and see where we were at before we jump into the new week? And we can see there most cards down for the week. We had Shohei Ohtani maintaining his stranglehold on the top of the list. Aaron Judge, Ellie De La Cruz, Mike Trout, Ken Griffey Jr., you got to have the kid in there. Adley Rushman, Julio Rodriguez, Bobby Witt Jr., Nolan Ryan, and Juan Soto made an appearance in the top 10 last week, as he is having an excellent season in his first year with the Yankees. So a lot of heavy hitters in there. I don't know what it's going to take to unseat Shohei Ohtani at this point, but we've got a lot of movement on some players this week. Is this the week? Maybe it is. Maybe it's time we get to that right now.
Number 10, Nolan Ryan. Number 9, Jason Dominguez. Number 8, Ken Griffey Jr. Number 7, Julio Rodriguez. Number 6, Gunnar Henderson. Number 5, Bobby Witt Jr. Number 4, Mike Trout. Number 3, Ellie De La Cruz. Number 2, Aaron Judge. And coming in at number 1, Shohei Ohtani.
Well, there we go. Our top 10 most liquid names in baseball trading cards. Another strong showing from our top 5. Really no movement up in the top 5. Little bit of gains by Bobby Witt Jr. But the top 4 for sure: Shohei, Aaron Judge, Ellie De La Cruz, Mike Trout. Those guys have been there all season so far and are really holding tight. Now, I do feel like Aaron Judge has picked up some steam lately. He is closing the gap a little bit with Shohei. But again, looking at those results, about 7,000 more cards sold over that 3-week period by Shohei Ohtani. So, not quite there yet. But if he continues the way he's going, he's got a shot at catching up to Shohei by the end of the season. Mike Trout, pleasantly surprised to see him continue to sell well, even though he's been on the shelf with an injury. But then the second 5, number 6 through 10, that's where we saw a lot more movement this week. We saw Gunnar Henderson with a good 123% increase in sales over the last 3 weeks. Julio Rodriguez, Still going strong. Ken Griffey Jr., he's always a stalwart out there in that list. Jason Dominguez, still up there. I thought he might slide by now, but he is doing well. He posted a 41% increase period over period with this list. And then Nolan Ryan, the Ryan Express, just keeps chugging along, just like his major league career, right? You can't keep him down. Couple of guys that fell out of the top 10. Adley Rushman. He had a little bit of growth this week, but only 6%. Other guys outpaced him, and that's what cost him his spot in the top 10. Another guy who fell out of the top 10, Juan Soto. So continues to have a good week, but just like Adley Rutschman, only showed moderate growth this past period, 6% as well. Everybody else outpaced him. So interesting to see those two fall out, and that opened the door for Gunnar Henderson and Jason Dominguez to take those spots. But numbers 6 through 10, a lot of shuffling going on there. Seeing some movement. So, what does that mean for our second tier of players? Who's going to be out in those spots 11 through 20? Let's put them up right here and we'll take a look. So we've got Adley Rutschman, Corbin Carroll still hanging around there. Paul Skeens, who was up in our top 10 for a while with his hot start, he is now down at number 13. Bryce Harper, Mookie Betts. I think Bryce Harper's going to, if he keeps going the way he's going, he'll climb into that top 10. Juan Soto, as we mentioned before. Willie Mays. We talked about the PMB with Willie Mays. 210% increase in his cards vaulted him up into tier 2 at number 17. Anthony Volpe, sliding down the list a little bit every week. Hank Aaron out there after the NLB stat talk, he got a little boost, but he is slowly sliding his way down. And then rounding out the top 20, the captain, Derek Jeter. Some of those guys, looking at them, Derek Jeter, 42% increase, Hank Aaron, 66% increase, keeping a good pace there. Corbin Carroll with about a 60% increase period over period in measuring this. So those guys have some potential to keep climbing up. Let's talk about guys outside of the top 20 that maybe are knocking on the door. The Mick is right outside and showing some growth. Freddie Freeman is just outside. Vlad Guerrero, who there's some trade talks about Vlad Guerrero potentially going somewhere, could impact him. Jackson Holiday is clawing his way back. Showed about 107% growth in the last 3 weeks. He's down there in the top 25. Bo Jackson, Cal Ripken kind of round out around 25 through 27. Jackson Chourio of the Milwaukee Brewers, he's been sliding down. He got really cold for a while, but showed a little bit of growth, about 20% growth in the last 3 weeks. So all it takes is a hot streak. He's probably got potential to jump into that top 20. And Royce Lewis, I added to our list this week. He's been on a hot streak. I wanted to see kind of where he's at. He would round out our top 30 right now if we were to add him to the list. So we'll see where he goes. Another name to watch, James Wood, just debuted this week. That was part of a trade for Juan Soto. When Juan Soto went to San Diego, the Nationals got James Wood. He finally made his debut this week. When I pulled the data, he was showing about a 5% increase, but the news was still relatively fresh, maybe a day old. I am interested to see what James Wood does in the next 3 weeks. So there we go. There we have our liquidity list for baseball. 3 weeks worth of eBay data to tell you who's flipping, who's not. Again, this is centered around low-end raw cards, nothing graded. Really looking at what us low end resellers do. We just keep flipping cards out there, but we want to know what names are going to be easy to flip and what names are maybe going to take a while to sit in our dollar box, right? So hopefully that helps you out. We enjoy putting that data together and seeing who's moving and who's not. A couple PSAs. Remember, every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Central, you can join me, Stu, and Adam over at the Dollar Box. We do the Dollar Box live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central. Interactive chat, couple hours. We talk about news, knowledge, and nonsense. Always a good time. Come on out and join us for that. And also a reminder, this fall, September 8th, Sunday, September 8th, at the historic Riverside Ballroom, the Dollar Box, JC3 Cards and Collectibles, coming together to host our very first card show, the GOAT Card Show. That's right. Stu will be the ringleader on that, of course. But we hope to see you there. So that's it for now. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, whatever you need to do so that we know you're enjoying this content and you want to see some more of it. Comment down below. Let me know if you think I missed somebody. Always a pleasure adding a few more players to that list. Until next time, this is Charlie saying, peace out. Take care of each other.